Well, hello there, my name is PolishLynx, this is Lucid9. Let's go. Actually, let's continue. Whatever, guess it's none of my business anyway. Okay, it's time to see Mr. Ryota. Yeah, our advisor. Kind of. This time he opens the door as soon as I knock. I must have caught him at the good time. Welcome, Ishimoto, we've been expecting you. He cackles maniacally and taps his fingertips together. You should have internet in your chair while stroking your cats. Everyone is a critic. Would you have rather been left standing outside in the cold? Outside. I'd be in the hallway. You seem awfully eager to prove your mentor wrong, boy. Well, whether I prove it or not, it's still wrong, right? Oh yeah, but that would never fly in a court of law, you see. Imagine it, I declare the defendant guilty because from a metaphysical standpoint, it is true even if we have no epistemological link of knowing so. I just lost you. I get that a lot. Go ahead and take a seat, we've got more important things to discuss, no? Hesitantly I slide into the nearest couch. I've always seen Mr. Ryota as an intelligent man, even if laid back, but I'd never actually, not understood him. I wonder how much brain mass he's hiding behind the cheery facade. So, the new transfer student, Misaki Kazehaya. I hope you don't mind, I did a little look up on her. You can do that? Well, there's no explicit rule saying I can't use the confidential databases. I'm pretty sure that there is. Nope, I may be faculty, but I'm not a teacher. It's only stated that teachers have to request special permission. I checked the loopholes. Something feels wrong about this. What did you find out? Well, if I tell you, then that's a solid breach of confidentiality. I don't want to go to jail yet. The food's too good here. Mr. Ryota, I really worry about you sometimes. And this is me talking. So instead, I'd like to hear your thoughts on the matter, Yama. How did you two meet? And you mentioned that she left. Yeah. It was a warm summer evening. No, I closed my eyes, letting the ever-constant hum of the air conditioner calm my nerves. Then I start talking. It's practically subconscious, my mouth dutifully repeats the train of thought running through my mind. Everything is calm, clear, slow. Therapy, something that I've gotten used to over the years. So I easily turn my brain to the topic of interest. Misaki Kazehaya. I'd met her when I was young. Not too young, a baby still forming thought patterns and ideas about the world, but young enough to be highly impressionable. It had been on a day when I thought nothing could make me smile. It was a warm summer evening. Not the vibrant lanterns strewn between the roofs of multicolored booths, not the festive rhythm of the taiko drummers urging on the parade of line-bearing dancers, not the stands in which a variety of nutritionally questionable foods were being served. Not even Rui who dragged me out of the house despite my best efforts to stay miserable. It was only around an hour into the festival, but I was ready to go when Rui went to the bathroom. I seriously considered ditching her and going back to my room. Apparently I was scowling deeply at that. I didn't know it until passing her suddenly stopped in front of me. Does your face always look like that? To say the least, that didn't help my full mood. I glared up at her. She was pretty. Well, that was the first thought in my head. That instinctive spark of appreciation whenever a guy sees a pretty girl, no matter how much he wants to feel otherwise. Her hair was braided back into an elegant half updo. Lined ebony curls framing her porcelain face, big eyes, long lashes, pointed chin, the kind of traditional beauty you might see in a kimono commercial. Of course, the first spark of interest was immediately overridden by indignance that only an 8-year-old boy could feel. What are you looking at? Don't look so grumpy, you should be celebrating. She didn't know anything, of course, not until a few months later. Festivals are stupid. They're not. Why There isn't even any reason to celebrate. The girl's face twisted into something resembling anger. It looked strange on her face, like a guinea pig attempting to seem menacing. You don't even know what the festival's about, do you? Well, of course I did, but I wasn't about to admit that. Of course I do. Oh yeah, what's it about? Well, you make lanterns. And? I fisted my hands and her condescending tone. You write wishes on them and stuff. Wrong! I'm not. Yeah, you are. You don't write wishes, you write what you want to tell dead people. Ridiculous, I should have said. Why would I even want to talk to dead people? But I didn't mock it. I couldn't mock it. Dead people. Yep, I can write a message to Andy on this lantern and she'd see it. How do you know that? Haven't you heard the story? No, I hadn't. But my 8-year-old pride prevented me from saying that, of course. Thankfully, the girl took my silence as confusion. Well, once upon a time there was a princess. Was she pretty? Yeah. Good at signing? Signing. At singing. Yeah. Boring. It is not boring, okay? The indignant anger on her face made me snicker. The first time I smiled all day. Yeah, well, what happens? Does she get in trouble and charming prince has to save her? Just listen. Look, she's actually a big meanie. I mean princess, that wasn't a fairy tale staple. Oh. Yep, but her bodyguard was in love with her and turned her good again. I felt disappointed. The story had a promising start. What did he do? Cast a spell? Give a true love skill? He died. Oh. Don't look so happy. That time I broke into a tiny laugh. But it made her cook again, right? Well, yeah, she didn't trust anyone before. Thought they were all fake and stuff. It seemed that she was glaring at me at that point of the story, but before I could open my mouth, she was already continuing. Anyway, the bodyguard sacrificed himself to save her life, so the heavens were super duper impressed and put him in the stars. In the stars, god damn it, what? It's the second time I messed up so badly. Aren't stars really hot? It sounds like a bad thing. Childish indignation flickered across her face. They made him into a constellation, of course, you poop. Bleh. Bleh times infinity. Bleh times infinity plus? Anyway, the princess realized how beautiful love really is. Because he died. She saw how much he loved her, so she decided to be a better person and trust people again. This had nothing to do with writing messages to the dead on lanterns. I was rapidly losing interest. Let me guess, she lived happily ever after. Well, no, the bodyguard died, remember? I liked the bodyguard. She glared at me, but somehow it felt less severe than before. She wrote her promise on a lantern and sent it out of the sky so he could see, because he was a constellation, remember? Now I realized that I could have said a lot of things. That's stupid, he's dead, what could he do about it? But that wasn't in my mind at the time. Everyone turns into a bunch of stars when they die, huh? I think? You think or you know? If I did something to super duper impress the heavens, I guess. I smiled at it. My eyes scoured the street and landed in a simple booth. A handful of other kids were gathered around a short portable table, scrolling on lanterns with calligraphy pens clumped in fisted hands. Let's go. But I already made a lantern. Write to another dead person then. With this overwhelming display of tact and political correctness, I raced towards the table, snatched the lantern from a smiling adult, and plopped down with my pen at the ready. Who are you writing to? None of your best walks? I began to scroll characters on my lantern. The girl hovered over my shoulder, squinting judiciously at my jagged brush strokes. Why is your handwriting so messy? It's not messy. I can't even read it. I whipped around, narrowing my eyes accusingly at her own lantern. Well, yours. I searched for a fault, but not only was her lantern graced with perfect calligraphy, it also proudly bore a few elegant cherry blossoms. Well, yours looks girly. She raised a single eyebrow. It was a remarkable sophisticated expression for a 9-year-old girl to make. I am a girl. And there was nothing much to say to that. Yama, where have you been? It was as if Rui had materialized out of thin air. I had even noticed the rapid pitter-patter of her footsteps. Sorry, Rui. Chico, tell me. You were in the bathroom. Huh? Clearly displeased, Rui turned her back to me, but smiled at the other girl. Thanks for taking care of him. Surprisingly, the girl smiled back. Easy as you please. Well, weren't they getting along just fine? Why did they have to give me such a hard time? Maybe it was a girl thing? I'm Rui. I'm Misaki. You gonna make a lantern? Yep. How did you make those flowers? They're really pretty. I can show you. And just like that, the two of them were friends. It took it longer to warm you up, but whatever the two of them set their minds to, they accomplished. They had always been that way, so fiery, so capable, so lovely, two playful angels who, for some reason unfathomable to mankind, so fit to hang around the back of the depressing sludge like me. Why do you think that about yourself? Mr. Yota's voice seems to come from far in the distance, but faint but recognizable. I respond distractedly. You know me, I'm not useful, or popular, or particularly intelligent. Silence follows this statement, so I only continue. Our families were close. Misaki's father would always throw these get-togethers at their house over the weekends or during special occasions. I remember him being really overwhelming at first. He was a lot like Misaki, only bigger and louder. I rarely saw Misaki's mother, to be honest. The times I did see her, she was pretty distant. Besides that, I really don't remember much about her. At first we were inseparable, Misaki and us, but then her father had lost his job and we started seeing less of her. And eventually they just left, no warning whatsoever. Even our parents tried to get in contact, but no luck. It had been as if the Kasehayas had disappeared off the face of the planet. That must have been a really hard blow. Rui says that it had been. Honestly, I don't remember much of what followed. It all passed in a haze. Essentially, I felt abandoned. I had this idea that everyone close to me would leave me. I don't think I could even cry. I only felt empty inside. But Rui says that it really was a terrible time. She says that I didn't eat, didn't sleep, didn't even play any games with her. She says that I looked like a ghost. Practically became one. And I don't remember it, but she says that one day... What happened? Yama, what's wrong? No, sorry, that's it. Sub-story over. Are you sure? You realize that the entire point of Trap is to share your sub-stories. It's not a burden, Yama. I'm glad to hear you out. I kind of feel tired. I think I'll have to stop here. It's mainly an excuse, and a very effective one for therapists. Mr. Yota immediately nods in understanding. Thanks for confiding in me. Just know that what you felt was completely valid. I'm sorry you had that trauma. It's fine. I got over it. I'd like to go now, if that's okay. If you're sure. Is there anything I can do for you? I'm okay. Sure you don't want a lollipop? Yeah, I'm pretty sure, but thanks. Have a good day, Yama. But at least take this prescription. Prescription? Seriously? Then I actually look at it. 1 bucket of ice cream to be eaten guilt-free. Oh. As far as the administration knows, this is totally a legitimate treatment. Ice cream is one of the core groups in the food pyramid, you know. He actually pulls a genuine laugh out of me. Thanks, Mr. Yota, and thanks for listening. Anytime. I exit Mr. Yota's office in a considerably better mood than when I entered it. I actually don't feel tired, I feel rejuvenated. Seems like those memories have been waiting on me for a long time. Maybe therapy really will be beneficial. Deciding to take his prescription to heart, I head straight to the downtown shopping area. With my mind cleared, I get to pay a little more attention to the weather. Beautiful, cloudless skies, the slightest hint of a cool breeze. You! A girl turns from around the corner and nearly crashes right into me. Her glasses flash dangerously as she tips her newsboy cap over her forehead, stunning with an intensity that could rival an electronic microscope. Me. It's all I can manage to say at the eccentric side. Yeah, you, an idyllic, unlettered civilian, perfect. A hint of side-side smile tugs at her lips. For what must be the 100th time today, I feel a keen sense of impending doom. Respond to my questions with either yes or no. Do not deviate, do not invent, and for the sake of both of us our scientists, do not dawdle. First, am I correct in assuming you are an academy student? Probably yes, I'm pretty sure he's wearing a uniform. You must have the wrong person, I've never seen it before. How can you judge the purpose behind this encounter without knowing the criteria I have set in my approach? I'm not mistaken, you are my target. It doesn't take a genius to sense that this girl means trouble. I decide to conveniently ignore her and step around her. She only steps with me, blocking my path again. Oh great, I can sense where this is going. As I envisaged, subject demonstrates a remarkable inability to utilize basic cognitive functions. Talk about uncalled for, abusive words, overly complicated language. She clearly has a few screws loose. Maybe I should call the hospital, see if they have a runaway mental patient. But she's not wearing hospital clothes. Look, kid, I don't know what your problem is, but... Kid! The pleasantly cool air suddenly develops a rather harsh chill. She must be in one of those phases. Just another 14-year-old expecting to be treated with the dignity of a grandmother. Albeit a 14-year-old who apparently memorized the dictionary. Well, whatever you are, generally speaking, it's pretty rude to just run up to some random stranger and insult them. Truly, your idiocy has risen to a level beyond which I had previously surmised. She immediately digs into her pocket and flashes something in front of my face. Shigeru Enomoto, freelance detective. Legally certified to inspect crime scenes, obtain private files, and if necessary interrogate unduly inquisitive citizens with the observation of finesse of a blind bat. And you shall note that I am 26 years of age. Are you sure about that? I kind of don't believe in these words. Wait. What? You're 26. Unless you presume to imply that you are deaf as well as dumb, I suggest. But you are so short. You should have said you look so young. I practically feel ice crystals forming in the air. Well, I should strongly prefer to be short of stature than short of cerebral matter, as seems to be your tendency. Ouch, not a bad blow. But wait. If you're a freelance detective, does that mean that this is an interrogation and I'm a suspect? If I have to go to the police station, do I get excused absence from class? I see no need to reverse your expectation that you will be taking the unexcused absence as they are. Consider it an inevitability similar to clinical depression. That stops me. What? How could she possibly? What would even make her think something like that? You might as well carry a sign. From your uniform, you are a student at the academy. From the fact that you are wearing it, you attended school this morning. From your presence in town rather than in class, you are, as I believe they call it, playing hockey. From the prescription slip, you are enrolled in the recently developed therapy method that the academy has been posting. From your fairly normal physicality and social skills, your problem is most likely clinical depression or something like high-functioning autism. From... Okay, I get it, you're a detective. And you're impressed, but pretending not to be. It is pretty impressive. The observations themselves might seem like common sense, but a person who can actually synthesize them is rare find. Which of course kind of just makes her even more annoying. I relaxed, oddly relieved that she hadn't actually secretly researched me. Now it is your turn. My turn. Of course, what can you see from my physical presentation? I invite you to give your brain some much needed exercise. That gets close to firing me up. Close. Sorry, but I have met my therapist's instructions to follow. Unless you have any actual business with me, I'd appreciate it if you let me alone. I step around her again. This time she doesn't move. But just as I think that I'm home free, I hear a soft whisper drifting from behind me. Do you not wish to play a bigger role in society than an inconsequential pawn in the game of life? Or will you restrict yourself to the confidence of your own abilities just because of her? I quietly stop. Turn around slowly. Tell me how you know that right now. I shall, after you prove yourself mentally capable of comprehending the simplest of my explanations. Fine, she wants to play it that way, let her play it that way. Time to focus. Okay, I will try to focus now. I will start with her clothes, her body language, the circumstances. Safe, safe, safe. Alright. If you think about human being, the first thing you notice is basically the clothes actually. Well, actually that's the first thing, right? That makes the first impression, probably. Also the look of the person, basically. But also clothes. Okay. Don't judge me, I actually listened at the university a bit about this crap. So let's go with clothes. Unlike the standard professional wear I might expect of a law enforcement agent, she dressed comfortably. Probably can do that because she's a freelance detective. They also haven't been ironed in a while, which means either she doesn't care or she's a workaholic, possibly a combination of both. Her shirt proclaims clean, conscious or unconscious association to her egotism. I can't tell much, but I find it strange that she dressed so casually and expect people to take her seriously. With her height and her clothes, is it any wonder that she's often mistaken for a kid? And one more thing bothers me, she wears comfortable looking clothes, which I previously assumed were for efficiency. After all, chasing down criminals in high heels is a stupid idea. And yet something stands out. Glasses and hoodie, hat and jeans. Not hat. Actually, I would say, you know what I would say? Only hat. Well, at least to me looks suspicious. By the way, it's not put properly, because the hair is here, and, well, never mind. Alright, hoodie and glasses, hat and jeans. Alright, I was only told about noticing things on the interview and such situation, but not like the detective thing. So, glasses and hoodie, hat and jeans. Okay, glasses because poor eyesight, right? Probably. And okay, jeans because it would be actually easier to... Let's go with hat and jeans, right? Hats are a pain to run with because unless you keep one hand on them at all times, they're likely to flop around, fall off, or just generally be obnoxious. And the jeans are too tight to opt for flexibility, running in those would either be very uncomfortable or very, very embarrassing. Really? I don't know, these jeans would really need to be very tight. I don't know. I don't really wear tight pants, because why would I? You need the place to breathe there, okay? Well, which implies that she just dresses how she wants to. Definitely a very headstrong individual. If she doesn't choose casual clothes for comfort, knowing that it can interfere with her job, then is she purposely choosing it to aggravate others, to announce her individuality? It would match with her choosing to be a freelance detective instead of a corporate investigator. Free-spirited, rebellious, and as I suspect from how she's shamelessly pulling me aside for no reason, guided more by her heart than her head despite her intellect. Not bad. Next, I should think about her body language. Okay, I don't really remember much about body language. I know more or less what are the signs of someone lying, but other things might be a trouble. Alright, she spreads her wave evenly on both feet, unlike most girls who let it lie more on one side of her hip than the other. Even wave on both feet. Almost sounds like a... Wait. Fighting stance. not really on. It's more of a formal posture. Definitely. She could be used to formal settings, but it doesn't seem to match very well. The rest of her body language isn't proper. She seems to hunch slightly with her shoulders loose. No, it's more likely that she's in a fighting stance. Really? Seriously? If I think about it, I'm not really experienced in this area, but isn't fighting stance more like you put wave on one of the legs? Well, whatever. She seems relaxed, but with that bright-eyed look of someone expecting danger around every corner. That kind of wave distribution doesn't seem to come naturally. Maybe she was in sports, or maybe in self-defense at one point, for a while from the looks of it. I'd like to guess martial arts, but I can't say for sure. There are too many possibilities. Okay, then maybe I should think about this a different way. Her movements are very crisp and close to the body. When she's speaking, she doesn't gesture very much, even when yelling. Generally speaking, sports emphasize emoting on a huge scale, roaring in victory, bowling in defeat, the works. Not only that, but limbs are trained more for gross motor skills than fine motor skills. On the contrary, Shigure has very tight control over her hands, almost to the point where she seems stiff. Which likely points to something high control like ballet or archery, or a more subtle martial art like Wing Chun. Whatever it is. Well, that still didn't narrow things down too much. Time to move on. I've noticed that when Shigure moves, she probably tends to use her... Fuck. I don't know. Was there a text about this? Wait a second, I can actually check this thing. But okay, I'll go right hand. Her left hand is generally stagnant while her right hand often takes the most action, adjusting her glasses or tapping against her hip. Probably safe to assume that she's right-handed. So she used to be involved in a high-controlled form of physical exercise and she's right-handed. Is that all I can get from her body language? Well, she doesn't wear any noticeable makeup, she dresses like a kid, and she wears glasses instead of contacts, just calling more attention to her pathetic stature. Wait a minute, when I put it that way, it almost sounds like she has a mental disability. Oh my god. Wants to be underestimated. This one. Even though she pretends to be oh, she has a mental disability. I can't believe there was even such an option. Even though she pretends Even though she pretends to be indignant about being mistaken for a kid, it looks like that's her intent. Even though she's a freelance detective, she doesn't wear her badge anywhere or carry a gun or anything really. Well, that's something you don't know. Maybe she has her gun hidden somewhere. She really believes that being underestimated is a valuable skill. I can't say I personally agree, but hey, she's the 26-year-old freelance detective, not me. The circumstances. Why here? Why now? Why me? These are all questions I need to address. The detectives approach me and bombard me with questions, but I see no other policeman. Is she doing this just because she's bored? No, she was specifically looking for an academy student for some reason. I'm going up short in this area, I'll have to think about this later. I take a step back to look at the full picture. No, this isn't it, not quite. It's good information, but it's basic, nothing stands out, I can't actually use any of this. Time to think a little deeper. Is there anything that can help me? Anything at all? Something I've missed? Enomoto speaking, yes? If you cannot resolve such an appallingly simple task by your own means, I shall consider your intellect no different than that of a headless chickens. Good day. Now you may want to hasten your affairs before the ground upon which we stand becomes our gravestones. Yeah, I'm on it. I said this distractedly primarily because I noticed. She has a flip phone. Ancient technology by today's standards. Buttons, 2-inch screen, primitive camera, D-Works. But their batteries are better, okay? Not that just that, but it's a trouble looking flip phone, the kind of decor that you'd see on the prepubescent phones. Rhinestones, heart stickers, even the random scrawl from a Sharpie that was too faded into the metal for me to read. It's completely unoccurred, which means that it's a wealth of information. While on call, she so graciously turned the phone in my direction, allowing me to catch a glance of her wallpaper. Shock. It was a picture, at least a few years old, of a guy hugging her. Double shock. She was proudly showing off her ring. Don't tell me it's the mother of that girl. But 26? Okay, that might be a bit stupid. She's too young actually to be the mother. 26. Then, okay, they are in high school, right? If I remember correctly, last year. So they are 18 years old. So she would be 8 years old. Okay, that theory doesn't make any sense now. But I solved it by myself as well, so. An engagement ring. But she's not wearing the ring anymore. Even looking at her hands at this moment, I can't even tell that she'd ever worn one. Which means that she once had a fiancé and he broke up with her, and he did it. How do I know recently or a long time ago? God damn it. Twitter, help me now. Suggestions? No, just something stupid as always. Recently? Right. Or wait, no, that doesn't seem right. Why doesn't it seem right? I can't return here. That's annoying. I want to change the decision. Actually, I can. I'll just go here and... well, no, okay, let's leave it like that. Why doesn't it seem right? Of course. If the engagement had ended recently, I'd see a tan around her finger. Or maybe an indent. Okay. How would I notice that? How? It's not possible for me to know that. I don't see her fingers here, basically. It's left hand, right hand? I don't remember. Instead, there's nothing. Which means that the fiancé called off the engagement a while ago. She obviously didn't call it off, not if she's keeping that picture on her phone. In fact, maybe they broke it off amicably if she hasn't deleted it yet. Either that or she's a stalker. Alright, that's much more like it. I think I'm ready. I square my shoulders and look her in the eye. Sorry about the wedding. Hello? What wedding? Is she serious? How can I possibly word this delicately? Yours, the one that your fiancé called off a few years ago. Did he? Didn't he? Unless she does have a wedding ring and she just doesn't wear it. Is it in your pocket or something? You might seek to argue that you're so better. It's what in my pocket? Your wedding ring. Why would I have a wedding ring in my pocket? If your fiancé didn't call off the wedding, then... wait. No, there's one more possibility, and since she's in law enforcement, it wouldn't be unlikely. I immediately shut up as the realization dawns on me. I see you have realized. Yeah, he never called off the wedding. Because he died. Well... but why do you smile? I suddenly feel very, very close. I'm sorry. Silence! Say nothing that you do not mean. Unless you are manipulating others to extract information, and that is an occupational hazard. Right. Even as she continues on, I mentally hit myself for my error. I shall admit, civilian, that you have done adequately. Train your senses consistently, and you might become moderately useful in the future. Thanks, really. I'm overwhelmed. But I ask you of this, what is the meaning when a freelance detective approaches a student and asks a string of seemingly unrelated questions of him? I don't know, you noticed at the previous day that he didn't actually find any possible work for himself, and you were there as well in your own booth, and you decided, hey, let's try to get him the next day. That doesn't make any sense, probably. She has crush on him, right? She's testing him. She suspects him of crime. Crush, no. Suspect this or this. But why testing him? Think, Lynx. The night is the moment when your brain works actually the best. Not during the day. Right. We don't know anything. Wait, actually we know something. There was a story in the very beginning of the game about something, well, which basically resembled a crime. But also she might be testing him because she might know someone from I don't know where. Maybe the Ryota guy. And right, let's go with the first one. Did I save? Yeah, let's go with the first one. Clearly you think I'm up to no good? Okay, I knew it. She's testing him. You're testing my intelligence for some reason. Or you're actually a marketing intern trying to conduct some bizarre survey, I wouldn't know. She graphics with an unfathomable stare. The only sign of emotion on her face are her eyebrows, which are almost raised to her hairline. What's your name? Sorry? Your name? This has nothing to do with the case, but if I pronounce, she will probably smack me with more verbal abuse. Yama Ishimoto? Huh. What is she thinking of? Her derision is preferable to her silence. I postulate that you possess an unlimited of free time. What is your assessment regarding a casual métier? Casual métier? Who even uses those kind of words? Are you asking me to be your assistant? Servant, not assistant. Putting being and job in the same sentence is never a good idea. I barely have enough diligence to hand out stuff in class when I'm called by the teacher. How much worse would my punishment be if I work with a woman, and is crazy? Not detention, I'd assume. I would go for it. And yet, examining pieces of puzzle, putting them together, framing the whole story, it was fun. Logic, ingenuity, resourcefulness, and almost nothing is fun to me, which makes it doubly interesting. Sure, why not? Good, I will require your contact information, then be off. I take a moment to process this, that's it. Wait, how did you know? Know what? You told me earlier, about her. A tense moment ticks by as Shigure stares evenly at me. Pure conjecture. You can't be serious. You didn't appear to notice that my warning was intentionally vague. What you said? Do you not wish to play a bigger role inside an inconsequential pawn in this game of life? Or will you restrict yourself to the confidence of your own bliss just because of her? Classic bait for confirmation bias. Appeal to a person's general desire for significance, allude to just one person for some added resonance. All she would have to guess is the gender, 50% chance of striking a chord in her victim. She probably guessed the girl from a personality. I'm not exactly the type to easily befriend guys. A bait. Just a bait. I see you understand. She pushes the phone to my emotionless hand. I have registered my cellular number. Tomorrow you'll receive a text regarding your next assignment. Keep your evenings free. With that she simply tips her head, whirls around and strides off. And we are striding off as well. See you in the next episode. Damn! It might get really interesting from now on. Can't wait for that. Alright, bye.